In this video, I'm going to show you how to crush it when it comes to SEO for your restaurant. WTF is SEO? Well, it stands for Search Engine Optimization, which is basically a nerd phrase that means how high your restaurant will appear in the Google search results when someone searches for certain keywords and phrases like restaurants near me or best barbecue in Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, by optimizing your SEO, you can literally turn your restaurant traffic from a trickle to a massive flooding river of hungry patrons. Okay, not to mention all of the increase in online orders you're gonna get. Okay, all of this is to say that if your restaurant doesn't appear near the top of the rankings, then you're no other way to put it. All right, so let's fix it. How you doing today? Dave Allred, the Real Barman here from restaurantpatrol.net and barpatrol.net. And yes, I'm perfectly aware that dealing with things like SEO and website stuff when you're trying to run a restaurant is so annoying. Okay, but if you ignore these simple tactics I'm going to teach you today, you are burning your own money because people search online for places to eat more than they search for any other service in any other industry on the planet. And 93% of people go online before they decide where they want to eat. Okay, and here's why this is good news for you. Most restaurants today have no idea what they're doing when it comes to ranking high on Google. And this is because most restaurant owners and managers have no idea what they're doing when it comes to SEO and the tactics needed to appear at the top of the search results. And yet here you are, taking the time to learn, which is going to give you a huge advantage and an opportunity to dominate the search rankings, okay, as long as you have the right tools and the resources. And I'm going to give you that advantage right now. So here are the most dominant strategies you can implement right now that are going to launch you to the top of the search results. All right, step one, boost your reviews. This is by far and away the most effective tactic you can do to rise in the Google search rankings so that when someone searches for restaurants near me, you are the one that is at the top when it comes to all their choices. All right, get this. When it comes to Google, both the average star rating and the number of reviews factor greatly into ranking at the top of Google. And many sources say that the sheer volume of reviews factors even more than the average star ranking. Okay, I mentioned this stat in multiple videos and I'll keep mentioning it. Okay, that means if you have a system in place to actively keep requesting reviews from your guests, your reviews are going to skyrocket, which means when someone searches for restaurants near me in your area, you will be at the top. This is exactly what we do to help restaurants at restaurantpatrol.net. And I don't mean to make this like a sales pitch for Restaurant Patrol marketing, but we literally have the #1 resource tool for gathering high quality reviews and building a giant database of new customers and turning them into regulars using text and email marketing. And we don't charge $1,000 or $2,000 per month to do it like most of the restaurant marketing agencies you will find out there. Okay, and we automate the entire process. It's amazing. All right, you can go check us out at your leisure. And if you click on any of the watch a demo video buttons on the site, you can learn more about how powerful our method is. Okay, in addition, little nugget for you. All right, speaking of reviews, if you will put some of your good reviews on your website, displaying reviews can increase conversions by 270%. All right, that's stupid crazy. All right, step two. Use keywords throughout your website. All right, well, what are keywords? Keywords are the actual words or phrases that people use to search for things on Google, as in restaurants near me, or best Italian restaurant in San Francisco, or sports bars in Seattle, or best pizza in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think you get it. So if you are an Italian restaurant in San Francisco, or a sports bar in Seattle, or a pizzeria in Tulsa, you want your restaurant to pop up at the top of the search results when these phrases are searched for. Well, how do we do that? Well, you need to think of every keyword phrase that someone might type into Google that applies to your restaurant, and then make a list. Okay, so if you're a sports bar in Seattle, you would write down best sports bars in Seattle. Best place to watch whatever game in Seattle. Okay, basketball game, football game, whatever. Okay, bars in Seattle with NFL ticket. Best buffalo wings in Seattle. Best nachos in Seattle. Okay, whatever's on your menu. Best happy hour in Seattle. Bars with Sunday happy hour. And so then your keyword list is going to include Okay, one, the type of establishment you are, like sports bar, Italian restaurant, pizzeria. Two, you're going to include best food items on your menu in your area. And then three, the best place to do blank activity in Seattle. Okay, any activities that you might have, like happy hour, cornhole, pool, or whatever you have. Okay, now that you have your list, what do you do with it? All right, well, you're going to get onto your website or whoever your website person is, and you're going to start putting these phrases in the headlines and in the subheadlines and in the paragraphs that describe your restaurant and the food that you serve. Okay, use these phrases that you've written down, and you'll want to use your home run phrases in the headlines first. Okay, the headlines get the most powerful rankings for SEO. Okay, so on your front page, you might have best sports bar in Seattle. Okay, then underneath, a subheadline that says the #1 sports bar for watching all of your favorite games, or best Sunday happy hour in Seattle. Okay, then have a paragraph somewhere that says we have the NFL Sunday ticket, the MLB and NBA sports pass, and all of the UFC fights, or whatever it is you carry. Okay, then on your food menu pages, choose your home run dish, and at the top have a headline that says best buffalo wings in Seattle, bar none. Okay, you get the point. You want to sprinkle these keywords throughout your website and use the most popular searched keywords as headlines and subheadlines. Okay, Google loves websites with relevant keywords because one thing Google is great at, it's making sure that relevant content pops up in the search results for people searching for those phrases. And I know all this seems like a lot, and I know it seems hard, but great business people succeed because they do what those other son of bitches will not do. Okay, the hard is your advantage because they won't do it. All right, what was that line that Tom Hanks said in A League of Their Own?
It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great.
Best movie line ever. Okay, step 3, place photos of menu items on your website. And this is mega important. This is not just for SEO and search rankings. Okay, the truth is, images, especially food images, create emotion, and to your brain and stomach, it brings it to life. Okay, it makes your mouth water, it makes your stomach growl, because you can picture eating what your eyes can see. Okay, pictures of menu items can literally make a decision for someone right there. Okay, I can't stand when I see an online menu and it's just text on a page. Okay, this invokes no emotions and gives your potential customers no motivation to come to your place. Great photos of your food and cocktails alone can halt someone's search to go anywhere else. And they're like, that's it. We're going to Dave's Bar and Grill. Look at that burger. Or look at that margarita. I want it and I want it now. Let's go. Okay? Now, how do we use photos for SEO and ranking purposes? Well, we're going to put what's called alt text on every one of the images on your site. And alt text is nothing but another nerd term, but it's more keywords that we're just talking about, and we're gonna put them into your photos. So that means that on your photos of your food items, you're gonna go into the back area of your website and you're gonna type in that food item in the area. For example, for this photo, you would go to the back end of your site where it was uploaded, and in the alt text field, you would enter best wings in Seattle. Okay, then when someone searches for this, if they go to the images, you have an advantage because you have labeled the photo of your wings with the keyword phrase, and it's more likely to move up in the search results. Okay, and then when they click on the photo, they are taken directly to your website. Okay, in this case, if we Google it, if we Google best wings in Seattle, you can see that all the photos that pop on the top are from online articles ranking the best wings in Seattle. There are very few restaurants here because, like I said, restaurants don't know how to take advantage of SEO. It's all articles. Okay, we can see that, what is this? Fitchy House is a bar that has properly placed their alt text because they actually pop up here. Okay, but the rest of these are all online articles and review sites. No restaurants. Okay, so if you're a wing place in Seattle, there's an opportunity here. Okay, so if you don't have them yet, get photos on every single food item on your menu. Okay, not just a few, every single one. And then put alt text in each photo. Okay, use this formula. Best, and then the name of the dish in the city you're in. Okay, very simple. All right, step 4, optimize your Google My Business page, which is now called Google Business Profile. Okay, don't shortchange this. Okay, you're gonna include all of your information and fill out everything that you possibly can. Okay, the difference between a good Google profile and a bad one just makes all the difference in the world. Okay, it makes a huge difference because you're making it so easy for Google to want to move you up in the search results because you're providing relevant information that people want in your business profile. Okay, a good Google business profile includes having great reviews and lots of them. Okay, current contact information, business hours, a compelling description, okay, links to your website, and a menu link that actually works. Okay, no broken links, please. Okay, as well as an online ordering link. Okay, you should also add photos inside your Google business profile of your food and the interior of your restaurant. Okay, they also have what they call attributes, which is sort of like the features of your restaurant. So, do you have good parking? Okay, are you handicap accessible? Do you deliver? Are you pet friendly? Do you have outdoor seating? Is it kid friendly? And et cetera, et cetera. Okay, the better you make your Google business profile page, the higher you will rank in Google and the more likely people will come into your place to eat. Don't take this step lightly. Okay, and then step 5, optimize your website. And that means that you want people to stay on your website as long as possible. This is the Google algorithm. Okay, they use this information to determine if you have a good site or a bad site, because if people are clicking on your site from the search results and they arrive on your website and for whatever reason they leave quickly, that tells Google it's not a logical or helpful site and they will move you down in the search results. All right, so then what things should you do and what things should you not do to ensure people stay on your site longer? Okay, well, 1, make sure your site is easy to navigate and that it's easy to find and view your menu. Okay, in fact, there are 3 main things that people look for on a restaurant website, and they are the menu, okay, ordering online, and reservations. Okay, make all 3 of those easy to find or they're out of there. Okay, number 2, do not use a PDF for your menu. Okay, first of all, they don't have photos. Okay, but second, PDFs are okay for desktop computers, but on mobile, they end up being small and people can't see it unless they like zoom in really close, but then they zoom in on like a single item. They can't see the whole menu because it's too close, and it's just flat out frustrating and people leave. Okay, not to mention, Google does not like PDFs for web pages because their little web spiders can't crawl those pages and analyze them. And you don't need to know much about web spiders, but they need to analyze your site, and PDFs don't allow them to do that. Okay, number 3, we already talked about this one, but add images to each of your food items. And if you have photos for each one of your items, they will spend more time looking at each one instead of allowing their gaze to just simply skim down through 5 or 6 seconds of your PDF menu. Okay, when there's photos on there, people are going to stay on there and they're going to look at them. They're going to spend more time on them. They will devour the pictures of each menu. Does that make sense? For what they like and what will keep them there. This is going to keep them on the site. Okay, number 4, make sure you have online ordering and it's set up on your site for you. Okay, don't put a link on your site that sends them to Uber Eats or Grubhub or DoorDash. All that does is take them away from your site and sends them to a third-party site. Okay, now Google thinks your site is not worth staying on. I think it's a piece of shit. Okay, not to mention you're giving up 25 to 30% commissions by sending them there, which is just flat out being a ding-dong. Okay, what else? There's other things you should be doing to optimize. Those are like the 5 main things. But to optimize your search rankings, make sure your website is mobile friendly. Okay, 80% of people are searching for places to eat on their phones. Okay, because they're out usually in a car. They're out somewhere. They're looking for something to eat. They're not sitting at home usually. All right, so you got to make sure your site's mobile friendly. Google does not like it if it's not, and you're going to drop in the rankings. Okay, plus even if people do find you, okay, your site's going to look like crap on mobile if it's not mobile friendly, and they're going to leave anyway. Okay, also add your site to as many online directories as possible and make sure the information on those sites are correct. Okay, the more directories you're on, the better. Okay, also make sure your website is loading quickly. If it isn't loading within 3 seconds, people will bolt because we all have the patience of a puppy on crack these days. Okay, if you go to restaurantpatrol.net and scroll down to the bottom, you can see that I will give you a free audit of your restaurant, and website speed is just one of the things I analyze for you, among other things, because we really want to help you get more traffic and dominate online. Okay, that should be enough to thoroughly overwhelm you. All right, I'm just kidding. Don't get overwhelmed. Just knock one task at a time and your search rankings will skyrocket. Okay, especially if you can start getting more reviews and getting better reviews right off the bat. That should be your number one priority. Okay, I want to thank you for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it. I am going to see you next time. I'm out.